Hello everyone. Today I want to tackle the topic of spell effects in Roll20. And usually in one of your games you will encounter the situation where your players maybe have here a horde of monsters, of goblins maybe, and they're running around and they are attacking you. And one of your characters might cast a fireball or a cone of cold or burning hands or whatsoever. Some of these spell effects, because there are so many attackers. Then you can do several things to mark. The question arises: who of these goblins are affected? And you can let your players draw. Maybe then you have to know, of course. Oh, it's a fireball. How big was it? Was it 20-foot radius or 30-foot radius, or was it the diameter? You look it up. Then you see, it was the radius 20 foot. Then you can draw it, and if you're lucky, you're hitting the exact size of it. So then you can set up, okay, I try to get these into my fireball and so on. But your players can, of course, also draw, but they don't have much access how to. If you want to resize them, you can do this, they can't, and so on. You always have this question: how big is it? How do I draw a circle whatsoever? Another possibility is you can look up a picture or a token or whatsoever from your library or from the web in Roll20. I already looked up here Fireball. What do I have? I have one in my library, of course, but on the web you will see they're just taken from the web. You can use other pictures as well. Then, but you have to have in mind that only you can do this, not your players. So you have to do the work for your players then. Then you drag it on the map, and of course it's by default it's just one square. So you again have the question: how big is it? It was this big. Then, but it's not so good because it doesn't have clear borders. Then maybe I can use aura for it. So now it's better to see which goblins are affected. Okay, but then maybe next time you you don't want to have this thing always around in your map. You will delete it and then you do the thing again. And now I show you what I usually do to be able to have always this fireball available in the correct size and in the correct display with this aura maybe, and even that your players can have it. So you don't have to do the work for your players. And what is the possibility in Roll20 if I want to let the players do something, control something? There's characters. Therefore, I create usually a character with a fancy name, Fireball, Sir Fireball, and all players should see it in their journals, and of course all players should be able to control it. So now I have this character Fireball here. And if I want to have a token, a default token for the Fireball, and this is one of these new bugs of Roll20 that it don't show up. If I want to have a default token for this character so that you can drag it from the journal onto the map, I can say this is the correct token because I set it up in a way I want to for the Fireball. Then I say now this thing, the problem is I already have a Fireball. I hope it's the correct one now. Let's be sure. Fireball new. So now I take the Fireball new, representing this character, Fireball new. And this token is now tied to this character, and I just have to set up this character that the default token for this character is this one. So I use the selected token. Save. So, and now I don't have to have this thing around. Your players can control it, and they can also drag it from here, from the journal. So if one of your players now said, I want to cast a fireball on these goblins, then he just has to drag this thing on the map, and there it is, as big as it should be. And he can also place it because he controls this token. It's one of his characters, so to say. And you don't have to do the work, and you don't have to look up how big is it and so and whatsoever. And you can even do more fancy stuff with it, because now it's a character. I know you will have a spell macro which rolls the damage of the fireball, but in case you maybe have ongoing damage of something, maybe you have Evert's Black Tentacles, which lasts along the map for a while and doing damage uh, all the time if one character is in it and starts its turn there, so you have to roll multiple damage, and maybe you don't want to use your spell macro all the time for the damage. Then you, for instance, because it's a character, you can add an ability, damage, and of course we know the damage of a fireball is 8d6 fire damage. So, and I want to see it, so I use here the toggle token action. So, and now if you one of your players drag it on the map, you will see here the damage. I have several things which are tied to tokens, but don't mind. This damage macro button shows up. If I select this, you can see for the goblins it don't show up. And you can roll the damage just by clicking on the token and here on the thing. You see, rolling 86 fire damage, 21 damage, rolled not very well. And if it's ongoing damage, you, for instance, you have ever black tentacles or whatsoever, then you just click on your area effect and say damage again, and you have it. So you don't have to use your spell macro. And I think things would show, yeah, it would speed things a little bit up. I hope this helped, and have a nice one.